iPhone 8 Plus versus iPhone SE speed test. That video's coming up right now. Let's go. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and welcome to the iPhone 8 Plus versus the iPhone SE. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I got a couple comments before, people saying, Nick, I got an SE only as a backup device. I'm picking up an 8 when it comes out. So that reminded me, you know what? I got an 8 Plus now. Let's go ahead and see how that A11 Bionic does over the older A9 CPU and see how much impressive it is over that older chip. So we're going to begin with a boot up test here on both devices in 3, 2, 1, and then we'll do some more speed testing here throughout this video. So you see the Apple logo is showing first on the SE, but that does not mean it will boot up first. Both of these devices are running iOS 11 official. So let's see which one gets there first. I think the iPhone 8 Plus should get there first, and there it is. And you see the iPhone 8 Plus is ready to go, really way ahead of the iPhone SE. So yeah, so far, even with the boot up test, the A11 is pretty impressive on just starting up. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and test the lock screen speed now just to see which one responds to the power button quicker. 3, 2, and 1. And you can see it's the iPhone 8 Plus slightly faster to respond to the power button. So these little things like this all add up to give you a slightly faster experience. Now, let's go ahead and hit the Touch ID. And you could see second gen Touch ID there on the 8 Plus. Of course, it's gonna beat the first gen Touch ID here on the SE. So faster fingerprint scanner and a faster boot up time. So the 8 Plus is winning hands down all around over the SE so far, which is to be expected. But is it winning by a whole lot? Actually not. It's not actually winning by a whole lot, but it does win over the SE in a lot of other areas. Okay guys, so just generally going through the UI, I actually find both of them to be about the same when it comes to just scrolling through the UI. They're both extremely smooth here. Now, the iOS 11 hasn't been running that great on any iOS device right now. They're running better than they were on the betas, but iOS 11 right now, even on the 8 Plus, has some chop from time to time. So we're definitely in need of an update here for iOS 11 across the board on all devices. But right out of the gate on the home screens, no difference really here. Both are buttery smooth. This is kind of a standard for iPhone on their home screens here. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get into the application test now here between the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone SE. So everything's closed out there and everything is closed out there. Let's go ahead and begin with the calendar on both devices in 3, 2, and 1. And you could see the SE was slightly quicker. That was strange. So let's go home here. And you could see the iPhone 8 Plus is home slightly faster. Let's go ahead and go into clock here on both devices in 3, 2, 1. And you can see that one looked like the 8 Plus from my eye. Coming home here, you can see about the same going home. What about the weather application? 3, 2, and 1. And you could see, looked like it was slightly faster on the iPhone 8 Plus there from my eye. Coming home, you can see calculator opens up in 3, 2, 1. And that one, I mean, you got to put it in slow-mo. Put the video in slow-mo here on your YouTube toggle if you really want to see it in depth there. But I think that was the iPhone 8 Plus. Now, I might be wrong on some of these. I'm looking through a camera lens, so I may make a mistake here and there on calling this. So I want you guys to go ahead and correct me if I miss one here and there. So let's go ahead and go into the App Store. And you can see the App Store, wow, that looked about dead even. I think maybe if you slowed it down, the 8 Plus. Coming home, it looks like the 8 Plus goes home faster every time. So what about the settings application on both? And you could see that was definitely the 8 Plus. But what I'm seeing so far is that if you're not a heavy user, if you're just gonna use an iPhone for daily tasks, you know, there's not really much of a difference on the newest iPhones versus the ones that are already currently available. Let's go ahead and go into Safari here on both devices. And you could see, wow, I mean, this is so close. It's really hard to call here actually how fast both of these phones are. Going into camera here on both, you can see, I think that was the SE if I wasn't mistaken, but if I was wrong, let me know down below on camera. Coming home here, let's go ahead and go into Instagram. And you could see definitely, whoa. So I thought it was the 8 Plus, and then they kind of got, you know, very similar towards the end there. Let's go ahead and go into Snapchat here on both of them. And you can see Snapchat looked to load first there for the SE. Coming home, let's go ahead and go into Twitter on both devices. And you can see, wow, SE first there over the 8 Plus. I think this might be why Apple decided to keep their SE in the lineup. It's still a rocket fast little phone. Let's go ahead and go into Amazon. And there was a little delay there, as you've seen right there, for the iPhone 8 Plus, but it looked like the SE had it first. It just opened that pop-up, but it looked like it was already loaded first there on the SE. So coming home, let's go ahead and go into eBay, and you could see eBay's looking first there on the SE again. Whoa, this is pretty shocking. I wouldn't have expected this. Let's go ahead and go into YouTube, and A11 Bionic is gonna beat YouTube over there on the A9. So let's go ahead and go into Apple Clips now. And you should see Apple Clips is first there for the iPhone 8 Plus. And let's go ahead. Hey guys, so we're gonna skip Subway Surfers. Let's go ahead and go into Real Boxing here. Real Boxing, this is more of a heavy game. Casual games don't really matter. And it looks like they're loading about the same. And looks like the iPhone 8 Plus might be slightly ahead, but both of these GPUs are fantastic in these devices. Wow. I think that was slightly to the 8 Plus, but you know, the SE, you gotta give it credit for staying right there with it. So what about Geek Bench? And Geek Bench opens about the same. So I'm really not seeing any differences with day-to-day tasks here. So what about the multitasking? So going through the multitasking, you could see about the same. I do think that the iPhone 8 Plus feels a little more fluid than the SE when it comes to this multitasking though. I gotta be honest with you there. So it definitely feels a little more fluid there on the iPhone 8 Plus, but going through the applications themselves, I mean, they hold them in the background pretty well on both devices. Watch this. So let's go ahead and go into clock on both. You can see SE holds right there with it. Weather, SE holds there right with it. And going in the calculator, holds right there with it. So, you know, performance, I feel like it's getting better. They still got to, you know, market A11 Bionic just like they did with Fusion. But performance has gotten good on pretty much all smartphones. But where the iPhone will rip the SE apart, we're not going to do it in this video, but where it's faster really is when it comes to like video rendering, when you're doing like those more impressive tasks like that really tax the CPU. That's where the iPhone 8 Plus will crush the SE. It's not going to be in day-to-day tasks. So what that means by that is that if you are buying one of these phones and you're going to be just using them as an iPhone for day-to-day tasks, going from an SE to an 8 Plus is not going to feel like a substantial leap in performance if you're just doing daily tasks. Now, if you are editing on your phone a lot, of course, you're going to go to a larger screen and it's going to be faster in rendering. So that's where the iPhone 8 Plus is going to feel like a leap. Now, if you are, you know, planning on keeping your phone for years to come, I think the iPhone 8 Plus is going to be better when it comes to supporting future iOS updates. So that's another reason it would be better. But in terms of right now, as it currently stands, using these day to day, just going through your day using your apps, you're not going to see any discernible difference between an iPhone SE and an iPhone 8 Plus. Okay guys, so you see we get a 4245 on the single core and a 10,126 on the multi-core for Geek Bench on the iPhone 8 Plus. Single core 2543, multi-core 4439. Just crushing the iPhone SE and the Geek Bench scores. And it's funny because some people think that this actually determines which phone is faster. Like they just look at a Geek Bench and think that's really how much faster it is, when that's totally not true. In the real world, like I'm saying, if you're not doing heavy stuff, and what I mean by heavy stuff these days is not like, oh, I'm playing a few games. I mean like you are like pushing this thing to the max. You're not really gonna see a huge performance difference in either phone. That's how well iOS is optimized for iPhone. Anyways, battery life though is going to be probably very similar, if not a little bit better on the 8 Plus, but this is not a full comparison. I'm going to compare these in a should you upgrade video, not just a speed test. This was a speed test between the iPhone 8 Plus and the iPhone SE. If you found this video helpful, enjoyable, entertaining, go ahead and click the like button for me. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos like this. Nick here helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well and peace.